All right, guys, fire away.
Hey, Coach, I just saw a graphic that Johnny, the last 3 games, is averaging 17 points, 8.2 rebounds, and shooting 52.9% from 3. How much better has he gotten in the last couple weeks?
Well, yeah, he's settled into the role, and he's gotten us off to a good start all 3 games. I mean, that's him more than anybody else that's gotten us off to good starts. And yeah, he played great. I mean, he's offensively he's terrific, and he's great in transition. He can really run, and you know, that's what 2 games in a row he's been our best rebounders, which is a bad sign for other guys. But yeah, without him on the boards, you know, we would have been really handed to us today. So you know, he's great. To me, he's the best player in the game.
Bill, do you see 2 bench points as just a product of playing your starters for as many minutes as you do, or is there any concern there with only 2?
Yeah, I think there's some concern. The 2 bench points came with 13 seconds left on free throws. So yeah, so they basically outscored us 32-0 from the bench. So yeah, I don't know if that's ever been heard of in a team win. So yeah, of course that's how West plays. West has got guys, and you know, whenever you don't start, obviously Skillings, and you know he comes off and he gets, what do you have, 14 or whatever in the first half. I mean, so you know, that's obviously a bonus that we don't have that luxury. I guess if we brought Johnny off the bench, we would have more bench points. But yeah, we've got to get more production from that. But they didn't play much either. I mean, you know, Nick and Parker played plenty, and Marco played 10 or whatever, or what did Marco play, 12, and Parker played 10. So yeah, we can get more out of that. But you know, obviously Nick and Jamari didn't get a chance to really get any rhythm.
You mentioned the trouble rebounding for people other than Johnny. Just we talked about this with West Virginia as well. Just what do you think's giving Hunter and KJ and those guys issues on the boards right now?
Well, we just didn't rebound it well. You know, if you followed us, which you have, we've rebounded it great up until a certain point. We're not going to be a great rebounding team. We need to be a good rebounding team. That's what our ceiling is, to be a real good rebounding team, and an opportunistic offensive rebounding team, which we've actually done a decent job of. You know, that team we played tonight is, you know, without question one of the best rebounding teams in the country, and we didn't do a great job in that regard. But I also think, you know, long rebounds, balls going through our hands, you know, that's not actually blocking out. That's just attacking the ball, and we got to do a better job attacking the ball.
Coach, Hunter was limited to 10.6 rebounds tonight. What was Cincinnati doing defensively to slow him down?
Well, they did a good job of getting him his 3rd foul in the first half on an offensive free throw, which is a bad play by Hunter. So he sat over there for, you know, 8 or 9 minutes, but he had those same stats at halftime. So you know, he didn't have 10 points and 5 rebounds or whatever at halftime. So second half he gets no points and 1 rebound. And a lot of it is he wasn't in the game, but also we didn't play to him near as much. I think their bigs did a good job of you know, keeping him from getting the basketball, and we didn't do a good job of finding him either. Usually we play through Hunter, and tonight we didn't play through Hunter.
Dan Skillings had a huge first half, as you mentioned. You made the defensive adjustment in the second half, holding the 2 points. What was working for him early, and there's adjustments you made in the second half to really continue there?
I don't know that we did a lot of things differently. I think, you know, Johnny got off to a rough start guarding him in the first half, and he just came in. You know, he fired. They ran a ball screen, back screen, first play, and we overhelped, and he made the 3 at the top of the key, and he was lights out from then. So he's a good player. They got good players, and they can all go get their own. And he's also, I don't know how many he got. I thought he was really good on the offensive glass too. He got 2, but I think may have been scoring opportunities. So, you know, he's just a good player, and the adjustments we made in the second half, we probably as a unit guarded a little bit better, but also, you know, he didn't have the same opportunities in the second half either.
Luke Coaches was 1 out of 9, 0 for 6 on threes. Was that a guy that you had looked at, you knew about? Because that's certainly an off game for him.
Yeah. Well, I you know, he's obviously a very good offensive player, and he's a much better shooter than going 0 for 6. But you know, you look at it, you know, they got a goose egg other than Skilling shooting the ball from beyond the arc, and they were all in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know that we defended the arc well, but I think we certainly at least, you know, we were probably lucky on some of them, but I think we did a decent job defensively on that. But that was a big part of the game, you know, them not being able to make threes second half.
Coach, what's Furphy's impact been compared to what you were expecting his impact to be when you moved him into that starting lineup?
Well, I think, you know, he's a good player. We've known that all along, you know. You know, he took it, you know, some time away from the team over Christmas, and that probably put him in a situation where he wasn't quite starting as soon as what he would have if he'd been here the whole time, because he missed some stuff. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect him to average 19.
17 and 8.3 rebounds.
Okay, I didn't expect him to average 17 and 8 in his 3 starts, but we're a different team. I mean, we'll be a different team. You know, depth is important. I said this earlier. Depth is important. All those things. It's a heck of a lot important now than it is in the postseason. In the postseason, you get 20-minute halftimes, and the commercials are a minute longer. I mean, there's a lot more time to rest. Now, Saturday, Monday, get on a plane, get back at, you know, 4 in the morning on some trips or whatever, and then you play quick turnaround. This is when depth's more important, and also depth in the tournament is most important through foul troubles and injuries. You know, if you don't have those, you can play guys 35 minutes in the NCAA tournament. At least we could. Now it's more prevalent, it's more obvious, and it's more apparent that we don't have the depth or the production off the bench. But now's when guys got to step up. We need guys to step up and play in a way that adds value when they're in the game, because, you know, Hunt and Kevin playing hurt. You know, they're playing on bad wheels and all that stuff, and this needed to be a game where maybe we could take those guys out, but we couldn't, you know. So Hunter took himself out by fouling.
I think it was 10 turnovers in the first half and just 1 in the second half. What was the biggest key in changing that?
Well, the second half turnover was awful. You know, Juan throwing the ball, and that play was bad, but I think we've done a pretty good job taking care of the basketball. We had, I have a hard time believing we only had 1 in the second half, because it seemed like to me we turned it over the first 2 possessions of the second half, and then we turned it over at the very end. So we probably went 18 minutes without a turnover in the second half, which obviously, you know, when you shoot as a team, you know, around 50%, even though it's not a lot of threes, you got to get a shot every possession, and you know, those are the little things. You know, 8 instead of 16, you scoring half of those, that's 8 points when you don't make a ton of threes. So those are the things that are actually more important when you're not probably a prolific 3-point shooting team yet.
Bill, you mentioned Johnny's fast starts, and he hasn't always carried that into the second half. Is there a key to him carrying that into the second half?
You know, I
obviously
think the
did
sample
tonight.
size is too small.
Sure.
You know, tonight he did. Tonight he made some plays in the second half without question. I don't know if you guys know
just
this.
ask.
He does such a good job offensive rebounding. A lot of times it seems like me, he just go up and score when he gets an offensive rebound, but he usually, you know, has at this point in time has just secured possession and kind of played conservatively. But yeah, we need to have him be more aggressive and a guy that we play to, that we look to score, probably even more so than we have so far.
You just mentioned Kevin being banged up. Just what's he dealing with?
Knee. He got a bruised knee. Yeah.
Time for a couple more.
You mentioned the short turnaround a little bit. How tough was that on your guys, and does it mean a little bit more that you guys were able to gut out this win, knowing you had the short rest time?
You know, it was hard on Cincinnati too. So I don't, you know, it's hard for both teams. It does mean more to win on Monday, so you can, you know, maybe be in better spirits, you know, till Saturday. And maybe attitudes and preparation, excitement and things like that are a little bit better. But Saturday, Mondays are hard, and they're going to be hard in this league, and they're certainly hard for us without a lot of depth. So, you know, the NCAA tournament's obviously a Friday, Saturday, or Thursday, Saturday, or Friday, Sunday, but there's no travel involved. So I think you can recover a little quicker in that situation.
Dewan was talking about the turnovers tonight and mentioned his 5 turnovers and how he's turning the ball over more this year. Are you seeing something different from him, or is it just?
I just think he made a couple, he's made a couple of plays that are just, the 1-4 high play. That would have been a layup, and he throws it right to the defense in the first half, just by not being patient enough to hold it for another second. He's a great guard, but I do think he's probably been a little bit more careless this year than he has in years past. He'll figure it out. I said this the other day. When you expect guys to get a lot of assists, that usually means they turn it over more because they're taking more chances. Magic led the league in assists and turnovers many times. So just so you know, that happens.
Thanks, Coach.